third session for Pick Your Pathway. And this will be our final session for our Q1, so to speak, session, which has started in December. And we've been focusing on 4 tools or instructional strategies in our Pick Our Pathway sessions since, like I said, December. And we'll be focusing on 4 new ones or making slight adjustments to our existing ones for the next quarter, which will be March, April, and May. And then June will be a time to showcase what you've learned by sharing some highlights and big takeaways with your colleagues. So that will be upcoming. That's the plan. From now until June 1st, we're on the calendar every first Wednesday of the month. So like I said, thanks for being here today. And I'm glad you saw that on your calendar. So I want to first focus on reviewing our connection to our WIG. By focusing on scholar engagement, 100% of our eligible scholars will graduate by the end of this school year. And how we're going to meet that. The lag measures are the results, and the lead measures are the activities. So the example that you see here on the screen is exercise or losing weight. So the WIG would be that wildly important goal, just like our school-wide goal. It's a big goal to lose 10% of body fat by June 2022. And the lag is the measurable goal, the results. So losing dress sizes or losing 20 pounds. But the lead is the activity. So how you're going to get there. 30 minutes of daily exercise and meal prep every Sunday by adding more greens and protein, for example, would be the way to meet your overall WIG goal. So that's the connection for lead versus lag and why we're really focusing on our lead measures. So the lead measures, as you all are aware, using these research-based strategies, we should see a positive impact for all of our scholars, but we're really focusing on the 3 target scholars and tracking their progress through quantitative data. And we will see the outcome in the lag measure, which will be the growth in the mid-year benchmark, the end of the year benchmark, in our semester 1 and 2 grades. So the lag measure, again, is that mid-year benchmark that we're in right now, and then the semester 1 grades that we just finalized this week. But the lead measures are what we can influence right now. So we can influence our instructional strategies, right? Something that we can change and impact immediately. So the lead, again, we're focusing on our lead data because we have the ability to change our behavior. Whereas for our lag, we don't have the ability to improve in performance. We don't have the ability to control STAR outcomes, for example, but we do have the ability to adjust our time and the energy that we're spending in our scholars in order to see that positive impact. So the connection to the lead and lag is in our qualitative and quantitative data. The lead comes from the qualitative data and that monthly self-reporting survey that you all are doing to track our progress. And it allows us to know if these strategies are impactful as a teacher. From this 1 through 5 scale survey, we're valuing your opinion, especially in terms of what we're trying to provide. And we appreciate you being very open to trying new things and growing professionally in order to positively impact scholar achievement. So this is how we're capturing the impact on our strategies for our lead measure, as we don't have data immediately to examine and take a look at. But for our quantitative data, this is our lead and lag measure. Lag is the information that we obtain from STAR, like I said before, and our semester 1 and 2 data. So it's the lag measure because we're only assessing scholars 3 times per year, and we're looking at how they have performed beginning to end. This lead is in our freckle usage, however, because we have the ability to impact that or control that. Are they showing up to tutoring? Are they engaging in the platform? Are they progressing in these skills? in Freckle. So qualitative is the survey, and then the quantitative is the data the number data that we're gathering, not as frequently, but through our Freckle minutes. That's our lead, that we can track pretty regularly. And then finally, the synchronous versus asynchronous. These strategies that we've been highlighting over the last 3 months can be used in both areas based on what works best for your scholars. Maybe it's best served synchronously because they need more support for live instruction, or maybe they're independent and it's best used asynchronously, and you can check in with their parents in the connection meetings. And by that check-in piece, maybe there needs to be some coaching or training for the parents on how they can best access the tools. And just mentioning, this is a very impactful strategy for your child to capture that buy-in. So the great things about these tools rather is that they can be used in both areas, synchronously and asynchronously. And finally, all of our goals and initiatives are interconnected through our strategy map. And I highlighted that the number 1 piece right there with that star, our overall lag measure, a great place to learn. And again, these research-based instructional strategies should positively impact scholar learning. And we will see that in our data, qualitative and quantitative. Okay, I know I was just talking really fast because I know I want to give you some time to move into your breakout rooms today for your Pick Your Pathway session. So we're going to transition over to the plan today. So this will be a review for most of you, but we invite you to read the slide to yourself. So we do have a few new STs joining us today. So welcome to the Compass fam. And the plan for today, which is we got about 30 minutes-ish in your breakout rooms, because we do want to give you 5 or 10 minutes to transition over to our next session, which is our Renaissance MyON training at 2 o'clock. And we know there's been a lot of issues with class links and the bridge from Pathways over to Renaissance. So you're not going to see your scholar data, but that's okay because it's just a high level overview today. So just on the training of the tools and MyON in general. So don't worry that you're not able to access scholar data through Renaissance at this point. But again, going back, we want to give you 5 to 10 minutes to transition into that training. So for your breakout rooms, you're going to jump in with your facilitator and you're going to pick the strategy or the tool that you want to learn more about. You can stick to the strategy that you've been working on and learn more, ask questions of the facilitator in each breakout room, or you can move on to a different strategy or tool today. It's up to you based on what you've been implementing thus far. So in your breakout room, you're going to learn more about the tool from the facilitator, ask those questions, peruse that instructional coach's guide site. Then you're going to create your action plan, and I'll give you the link to Brenda's going to be putting the link to the action plan in the chat in just a second, as well as the instructional coach's guide site. For the action plan, as before, you will be forced to make a copy. So if you're new to Compass, that will be the first time that you're going to be accessing that action plan. So go ahead and click on that in the chat in just a few minutes. But if you've been here and you want to continue with that action plan that you've been working on since December, that is a-okay. You can add to your first or second one. You can make a copy of it and call it February action plan, or you can just copy and paste like I showed you last time, the first piece up to the top and just type in February. Totally up to you on what works best for you. I'll leave that, excuse me, the dog's barking. I'll leave that up to you. So once you create your action plan, your 2 or 3 people in your breakout room are going to share the action plan with the group so others can hear what you'll be doing and focusing on for the next month. This is what the action plan looks like. Again, I know this is familiar to a lot of you and you've seen this before, but focus on questions 1 and 2 today, And then you're going to use questions 3, 4, and 5 as a guide for when you fill out the survey at the end of the month for our lead measures. So you're going to stop at question 2, and then you're going to come back to reflect on questions 3 through 5 when you fill out that survey. So you're going to be using this as a guide. Okay, in terms of the plan, you know the drill, but breakout room number 1, we're going to post the breakout room numbers in just a second in the chat. But breakout room number 1 is going to stay the same with Andrea and Michelle as co-facilitators. You're going to be popping in there to learn more about AVID with the 5 E's. Breakout room number 2 will be with Erica Nearpod in using the 5E model. Breakout room number 3 will be with Tara for ListenWise. And breakout room number 4 will be with Kelly for Generation Genius. So going back real quick, let me just grab, I'm going to stop sharing so I can grab that. Grab that plan so you can see, here we go. And then I'm going to reshare. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to share it again. Okay, so breakout room number 1 will be with Andrea, or excuse me, with Andrea and Michelle for AVID again. And then 2 will be Nearpod with Erica, 3, Tara with ListenWise, and 4 will be with Kelly. So before you jump into breakouts, we're gonna start the breakout rooms in just a few minutes. I want to add a link to a overall staff support survey that I would like you to complete by next Friday, so the 18th, so we can make informed decisions on how we can improve some of the information that we're sharing, some of the strengths that we've had from August to now. So if you could please be honest in that survey, we'd really appreciate that, because we'll use that feedback to make informed decisions on our next steps. So I'm going to put the link, if Brenda hasn't done so already, in the chat before you head off to breakout rooms. Sorry, I don't have that chat open. Brenda, if you can add it, I'd appreciate that. I can't see the chat right now. So before you pop into your breakout rooms, click on that survey and just make sure that you have access, and we will really use that feedback to, again, drive our decisions for this semester, semester 2. And make sure that we're really supporting your teaching practice. For breakout rooms, make sure, as you know before, click on breakout rooms on the bottom, and you can self-select based on which breakout room you want to join today. So if you want to go to AVID with Andrea, just go ahead and self-select room number 1. All the links should be in the chat for the Instructional Coaches Guide site, as well as the action plan. You will have at least 25 minutes, almost 30, to have these conversations with your breakout room team. And then we're going to give you 5 to 10 minutes, like we said before, to transition over to Renaissance. Does anyone have any last minute quick questions that I can answer in 2 minutes? All right, like I said before, I always talk fast, so I want to give you the rest of the time to go into your breakout rooms and collaborate with your team. I appreciate you being here today, and I appreciate Brenda. Thank you for putting that in the chat. I'm going to be linking that to your weekly updates as well, so you'll see that link on Monday. And please give us some feedback so we can, again, make informed decisions starting off semester 2 by the 18th, which is next Friday. Okay, we're going to start the breakout rooms, and go ahead and self-select. And you should be able to see that pop up on the bottom. And number 1, AVID, number 2, Nearpod, 3, ListenWise, and 4, Generation Genius. Thank you all for being here today, and I will see you at